job of protecting my mom. As long as she has people around who are yes people, I know that she's not getting the help that she needs or getting better. She could die.
I've got so much money. I want it for my son.
So it looks like Wendy's son, Kevin Jr., is not taking the news about Wendy being incapacitated very well, because he just slammed his serial cheating deadbeat father, Kevin Hunter, for being the cause of his mother's suffering. And there is word going around that he even plans to file a lawsuit against his father. Wendy's health significantly declined when Kevin humiliated her and stole all her money. She never recovered from the shock of all that betrayal, and it pretty much went downhill from her at that point. Kevin Jr. has been looking out for Wendy and protecting her, because even while she was suffering and getting dragged from one hospital to the other by her guardian, he was the only one who seemed to care about Wendy's well-being. His father, on the other hand, was trying to get her to pay him alimony at some point, and even tried to overturn their divorce so that he could have access to her money. The first time we got to see Kevin Jr. speak on the condition of his mother was back in February, when Lifetime had released the documentary titled Where is Wendy Williams? We even got to see Wendy speak on her own about how this conservatorship that Wells Fargo put her in has been affecting her mental health. She said the people who were meant to protect her, aka her legal guardian Sabrina Morrissey, was allegedly stealing from her, and that she was now broke. Kevin Jr. was also very concerned about Wendy, so he did an interview with the U.S. Sun and spilled the tea about how Wendy was being taken advantage of by her financial guardian and her entire team. He accused them of prioritizing money over her health and overworking her, despite her declining health condition. I know there are all sorts of things happening that I know in her right mind she would never agree to. As hard as it is seeing her being taken advantage of, I know that if I'm making sure she, as a person, is okay, that's the most important thing, because eventually she's gonna realize the craziness that's been going on. He added, "What's been made more important by the people around her is that while her health may not be great, she needs to keep on earning income, and in my opinion, that should not be a priority at all. And whoever has been hired, they're taking advantage of somebody who needs to get better."
She looked confused and she looked skinny. Like she needs a break. That because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain. So I think they said it was alcohol-induced dementia. I want the family to become the guardian.
And you guys are ready to take care of her?
100%. As long as she has people around who are yes people, the same thing is always going to occur, where she would ultimately just find any excuse to be by herself so she can get back to drinking.
And Kevin did not lie, because instead of them helping Wendy, they was busy parading her around and worsening her health condition. In fact, just a few days ago, Wendy's guardian Sabrina came out and revealed that Wendy's health has only gotten worse these last few days. And now she's permanently incapacitated and even unable to talk. She revealed this in a filing in which she described Wendy as an acclaimed entertainer who tragically has been affected by early onset dementia, and as a result has become cognitively impaired and permanently incapacitated. In the same filing, she also included a plea that asked the court to protect Williams' privacy by redacting some aspects of her health, familiar relationship, and finances already outlined in the case. Kevin Jr. did not take this news well at all, and according to sources, he's still in denial about the whole thing and partially blamed his father, Kevin Hunter, for what his mom is currently going through. In fact, when the Shade Room broke the news about Wendy's incapacitation, Kevin left a comment under the post alluding to the news being a lie. But it's important to remember that the sources have already said he's in denial, so this comment wasn't really surprising. Now, when it comes to him blaming his father, it wasn't really surprising either, and it's honestly just very much justified, because his infidelity really triggered Wendy. And even when she was sick and going through the guardianship mess with Wells Fargo, Kevin Hunter was adding to her stress by trying to get money from her. Yeah, y'all heard that right. When Wells Fargo seized all her assets and put her under guardianship, the alimony payments that she was wiring to Kevin Sr. stopped coming through, and the first thing he did was drag her to court. Mind you, Wendy was at the peak of her illness, and at that point in time, she wasn't even in control of her money. But he ain't care. All he wanted was the money. Apparently, them alimony payments became his main source of income, and once it stopped coming through, he and his side piece Sharina Hudson started struggling real bad. In court documents obtained by the U.S. Sun, he was quoted saying, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the Homeowners Association, and I'm behind on that bill. If the Homeowners Association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow." He also added, "My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended. My life has been greatly affected since the plaintiff has stopped making payments under our settlement agreement." Child, this man proves every day that he ain't nothing but a clown. He and his mistress were living off of Wendy's money, and he didn't think to save a dime because they thought that Wendy would keep clearing them alimony checks every month. Now, fortunately for Wendy, the judge saw right through Kevin's nonsense, and they denied his request. The judge said his request was not emergent and ordered his application to be dismissed without prejudice. It turns out the reason that Wendy was able to stop paying them alimony checks without any consequences, despite the divorce agreement demanding for her to pay them checks every month, was because there was a clause in it that said she was only to pay him if she still had a talk show. And since the Wendy Williams show was canceled after she got ill, this meant she didn't have to pay him nothing no more. Kevin's financial situation only got worse from here, and he ended up selling his house in Florida for $1.2 million. But even that wasn't enough to pay off all his debts, because he's now being sued by UBS Bank for failing to make payments on his credit cards worth over 5 figures. His mistress Sharina also racked up a few debts of her own, and even got sued by TJ Maxx after maxing out her $3,000 TJ Maxx card and failing to pay it back. And mind y'all, the minimum payment of a TJ Maxx card is anywhere between $25 and $30. So the fact that Sharina couldn't even come up with that just shows how much them alimony payments were saving her and Kevin. Once Kevin realized them alimony payments were not gonna be coming through ever again, he did the most shameless thing that he's done thus far by trying to get a judge to overturn his divorce with Wendy. Meaning that if they go back to being married, and he would have access to her money again. According to the U.S. Sun, he claims that it was some sort of fraudulence in the financial documents that Wendy submitted during the divorce proceedings. In a Wells Fargo portfolio report, it claimed that Wendy's total holdings were listed at $7.3 million. However, Wendy's best friend, Regina Shell, submitted an affidavit stating that Wendy had over $55 million in her bank accounts in 2022. He claims that he feels the money was hidden from him during the divorce proceedings, and that the extra $48 million was fraudulently concealed in the divorce. Wendy's guardian, Sabrina, was not having none of this, and she argued that at the time of the divorce, Kevin stated he was fully satisfied and understood the process and had consulted with professionals to be fully aware of the assets and his rights with regard to such assets, and that as such, he has absolutely no case to reopen the divorce proceeding. Child, it's getting messy in here. Everybody is in here fighting over Wendy's money, while Wendy is fighting for her life. And as for Kevin Jr., he's reportedly not even speaking to his dad at all. And the chances of him ever speaking to him are getting even more slim because Wendy will now be living the rest of her life incapacitated. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said he should be charged with fraud. He cheated, spent all his money, he doesn't generate money, and he's a deadbeat. He should be ashamed of himself. Another person said, I believe her son should be in charge and look after her. He has the best interest for her and will look after her and make sure she does what she needs and has what she needs. This guardianship is shady and sinister and is not helping her at all. She worked hard for her money, and that is her money. She needs her family now. No wonder she's getting worse. I think her son is her only hope. This is horrible. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Wendy Williams being incapacitated? And do y'all think the pain he put her through is really what triggered her illness? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.